Hello and welcome to our November Digital Insight video. As we have continued to see, the global car market has been impacted in an unprecedented way by the COVID-19 pandemic throughout 2020. In Q3, we did begin to see signs of recovery in the big 5 markets. Visits to car brand websites were up by 4% over the same period in 2020. Registration lagged by 4%, but were greatly improved over the previous quarter when sales had fallen to half the level of 2019. Car companies themselves were showing signs of confidence, upping their spend so as to attract consumers returning to the market to their own brand's product. However, that optimism has been drained in recent weeks as the second wave of the pandemic flared across Europe much earlier than was predicted. Governments have responded with lockdowns and other measures which have impacted the industry in different ways. Currently, in Germany and Italy, dealerships remain open, while in Spain there are some very limited local restrictions. But in France and the UK, showrooms have again been required to shut with predictable results. The French Finance Ministry stated that new car orders fell by over 70% in the first week of renewed lockdown. Online, we have seen a similar pattern of behavior as in the first lockdown, with the decline in traffic to car brand sites noticeable in all markets as different restraints were introduced. However, we can see that this decline has been far less pronounced than during the first lockdowns. In the UK, for example, online visits to car brand sites during the first 10 days of the November lockdown were still 75% higher than in the first 10 days of the March lockdown. In Germany, the situation was even better, with traffic at the start of November 90% up on the level seen in March. Consumers, it would appear, are less panicked than they were during the first lockdown, but car purchase is clearly lower down their priority list at a time when their movement and need for mobility are restricted. This appears to be true across all of the market, even where showrooms remain open. Another significant factor in website traffic holding up may be that, unlike the last lockdown, car brands are spending again and realizing the simple truth that if their competitors are reigning in on TV, print and digital campaign, there is an opportunity to win a bigger share of audience with the same or even less spend than under normal circumstances. The TV and print ADEX data for Q3 showed some stark contrast in approach. BMW chose to keep its powder dry. In the UK, Ford and Audi led the charge, while brands like Fiat, Nissan and again BMW were virtually silent. How all these brands' registration results look in 2 or 3 months' time will be the litmus test for the different strategies. The first couple of weeks of the new lockdown shows little change in activity compared with the previous quarter. Unlike March, there are few of the "our brand is here to help you in this crisis" messages. It remains business as usual, with brands showing new products and offering a mix of incentives to entice buyers back to the marketplace. However, it does seem that there are fewer winding mountain roads and less wind-tussled air in the output that we would have seen at other times. So who are the winners and losers at this point? October registration were down a disappointing 8% across the EU after an improved September, which can now be attributed to the release of the demand suppressed by the first lockdowns. But again, we see huge variations by brand. Audi was the clear winner, with sales volume up 20% during the month. Amongst the other volume brands, Fiat, Kia, Opel Vauxhall and Renault all enjoyed positive growth. What is a factor of the success? We can't help but notice that it is a more digitally competent brand who have invested in virtual showroom, click-to-buy and other interactive technologies who appear to be weathering the COVID storm better. However, the year-to-date figures make sobering reading for all brands. The car market at this point in the calendar is 27% behind its 2019 performance, with little prospect of making up much of that deficit by year-end. Porsche looks best positioned to claim the crown, having managed to retain sales volume that are only 10% down on 2019. Our guest today is Damir Gavran, who is in charge of sales and marketing operation for Opel Vauxhall Europe. His current focus is on online sales and data marketing to improve the understanding of customer behaviors and needs.
it's a different, the experience which we are having now, no matter the number of the COVID cases, infections, it's even higher. But I think we learned how to go through it, and we are still learning and adapting. But I don't see the same situation like I have seen at the beginning of the year. And obviously, once again, as I mentioned, so in the moment when I see the shopping behaviors of the customers, they really behave on the way that they would like to shop more from the known brands. So those companies which are constantly investing in the brand, in communicating to the customers, are successful. One of the biggest investments which I have seen was happening with investing into the infrastructure, different digital infrastructure, but also what was very, very important besides digital infrastructure, investment into the different sales processes or the change management, because obviously it's not the same for the sales staff selling it, let's say, call it normal time or current today's COVID time. I think it's a mutual work, and we have to work together with the dealers. Obviously, this is something which is changing with the customers. Customers says that in the research which I have seen, 54% of them, they prefer to buy online, and so this is a very strong signal, for us that we should be adapting to the customer needs. 2/3 of the customers are happy with the digital experience versus visiting dealers. So this all shows, that we have to adapt. We have to come closer to the customer, so what they need, what they want. On another side, so obviously from the business point of view, we have to find the good ways, how do we kind of attract the customers to still buy with us, because so another survey which I have seen speaks about 40% of the customers which are delaying the purchase due to the health concerns, or waiting for discounts, or they are having a fears of reduced incomes. So all this needs kind of very good understanding, and the business models and the offers and the values which we are trying to sell to the customers, should be changed, should be adapted, in the new circumstances. There are some car brands which are offering these subscription models where you could easily subscribe for the, let's say, temporary period of having a car, and then the way out is quite easy, maybe with a notice period of 1 month or 2 months, and basically you could return the car, which I think it's pretty much in the same direction, because when the people are buying the cars in the moment, they fear maybe they will stay without the jobs, so, and then having the options to return the car and stop the subscription is really helping in the moment. What we are doing in the moment, we are basically changing traditional kind of sales funnel, which we were managing for years. Since I started working in Opel Europe, I was responsible for managing the sales channel, and basically this is from the generating some traffic and putting the people into the digital space, and then trying to engage them with different tools like configurators, stock monitors, finance calculators. Then we are trying to capture those people in the digital space with the forms, and then push them into the lead management, and the dealer is taking their role. So basically what we did here and what we are doing here is that we are cutting the funnel on half, and after the engagement, so we want to capture that contact. So we want to grab them immediately, and the good companies are doing that through different communication tools like a video chat, because I think especially video chat is providing absolutely good experience in this moment. We are really bringing our showrooms and the humans through the video chat directly to the homes, to the rooms, to the to the families, where they could experience, where they could talk and chat. So and here we have really good experience, especially from UK, where we have lots of customers, happy customers, using this opportunity to speak and have the direct video presence into the showrooms. Everything is so simple at Tesla selling online page. So, but the different brands are offering a different experience. I can't say what is better in the moment. I think Tesla have a different product portfolio, a very simple product portfolio to compare to some other competitors. But I have seen some long journeys. Sometimes you will have to, as a customer, click maybe 12, 13 times. Sometimes I see many different options for the customers. So like if you want to buy cash or credit or subscription, or you are the fleet customer, or you are normal retail customer, so all this could increase the complexity of buying online. It could reach more customers, but what I realized, that sometimes is also increasing the complexity. So the journey, which is getting very complicated for the customer to find what he really wants. So yeah, I mean, hard to judge, in the moment what's better, what's worse. I could only say it's different. There are strong dominance. I mean, if you're looking, for example, British UK market or German market, which is strongly growing, we see many third-party sites which are dominating the markets, dominating the traffic of the markets. Today, one AutoTrader have like a 30 million monthly unique visitors every month. It's not neglectable that, so they are obviously attracting on one side the potential customers, but they're attracting also the supply side. So that means, that many companies, many dealers are submitting, bidding for the customers on such a platforms, So this is what customers see, So, and there is no way back, I see that developed. I see also dealers very aggressive, they are investing in the infrastructure, they are investing in the enablers. And here I see the big changes at the big dealers, at the group dealers, So our vendor, which we are using in UK for Vauxhall, providing the digital dealers website, I was talking to them, and they say like 500% increase in the in sales of their products, to the dealers. So obviously this is changing so fast, and the customer is in demand. Customer says 60% of the customer says we want to buy online. So I think there is no way back. I still believe there will be a need for the dealers, and there will be need for the physical dealers. So for many customers, but part of this omni journey will be in favor of the digital channels and the digital communications. And then if you look one of the reports which was provided by Sophus at the summit which we had this year early, I think it was in February, we see what is the journey of the customers. So they move left, right. They visit the brand sites, they visit competitor sites, they visit the third-party sites, they visit the dealer sites. So obviously that's the journey we have to respect, and we have to provide proper quality and informations and values for customers to stay with us and buy online. Always what I see is that everybody in discussions, they're starting discussion with enablers, with the platforms, So I think that's wrong, because first of all, we have to understand the customer. Customer is the king, So, and if the customer is behaving on a certain way, and he's asking and requesting certain services, certain values online, we have to follow that, and then build the business story, understanding what we are communicating, giving them why they should buy online. And if we understand them, if we give them and provide them these values, they will follow us, they will buy from us. And this is but this is where I see the big field for improvements for many companies on the markets, not only automotive. We cannot mandate prices. We cannot fix the price because it's a free market, obviously. So what we see on these third-party sites, we see strong competition. So and that's the reason why I believe that many customers are going there, because the value which these third-party sites are providing, it's obviously they're comparing the price, and they could show to the customer the best price vehicle in close to where the customer lives. So I think that's the value. I see that some competitors, and there are lots of discussions about that, they're trying to change the business model. They're trying to start the sales only online. So then this is another story. So then there is no need to provide the competitive prices if you decide as the manufacturer to sell only online. Then customer have two options: buy online or not buy online. So, and I see that trend. So there are certain brands which are testing that at some markets globally, but also in Europe. And so we would see. I'm looking into that, looking forward to understand. What I also understand, is that many customers, they really don't like negotiation at the dealers, bargaining. That brings them lots of stress. And I have a feeling this could fix this problem. If there will be more brands selling only online and changing this business model. So this is a really excellent question, and I call it analytics to paralytics. I think that many people call it like that, because I think if we want to measure and look, I'm going back to this sales funnel measurement, digital sales funnel measurement. We could have million KPIs, and it's good. But if we have too many, we just get paralyzed. We don't know anymore, what's good. As you mentioned, I think Sophos is really helping the brands in creating kind of benchmarking, creating so that we understand what we are doing, not only for us, but how we compare in the industry. So I think it's really great. And now to come to the answer directly to your question, so if I would be having only one KPI, it will be definitely customer satisfaction, because I believe, if this happy customer, basically, it's the one which is buying and is coming back to buy, and all these KPIs are under the same denominator, which is for me the customer satisfaction. And I'm here will be using my hopes what will not change, rather than some kind of prediction for the future. My hope is, as I love the cars, is that the cars will be still bringing the emotions. Cars will be bringing the feelings. So there will be people which will be really loving to drive the cars. I understand there will be people which will be using autonomous vehicles for a drive, but there will be those which will still be wanted to be in charge. That will be the same, because I think our kids deserve that, because car is not just a metal. Car is emotion, and only those companies which are selling emotions, I believe they will be succeeding in future too.
Thank you very much, Damir. Some very interesting comments and a lot of food for thought. So, what are our expectations for the weeks and months ahead? The much talked about new normal looks set to stretch into the new year, with longer or intermittent lockdowns remaining a feature of everyday life until vaccines are widely distributed. Even the most optimistic forecast is that this will not happen until the spring at the earliest. In summary, we expect more of the same as the second wave of infection establishes itself. Talk of a V-shaped recovery, a simple bounce back to the familiar now looks distinctly optimistic. But there are some positives that may strengthen demand. The car has become an attractive bubble, a secure alternative to mass transit. Traffic congestion in many metropolitan areas of Europe in September was higher than before the first lockdown as people turned to their cars. The second-hand market was consequently strengthened, which bodes well for all the new car market as well in the coming months. Also, it is worth noting that this is not 2008. Rental, leasing and new subscription models have come into play so that a large upfront sum is no longer required to buy a car. We may therefore hope that we do not see the same patterns of deferred purchase as in the past if the economy does suffer the expected downturn from the new year. There are other positive trends emerging. For example, those brands that have embraced electrification early. In September, EVs outsold diesel cars in Europe for the first time, and their market share has almost tripled within the last 12 months. Brands with a strong offering in this as yet uncrowded segment look set to profit mightily as the niche turns into the mainstream. Our reading of the future is that any recovery will be K-shaped rather than V-shaped. Some sectors, travel, hospitality, face further decline, where we will see supermarkets and online businesses continue to flourish. At a micro level, we expect to see a similar differentiation between individual car brands. Those with a strategy and vision to pivot to digital processes will continue to be the victors, while digital laggards look set to continue in the slow lane. The next few months will be about turning digital can-do responses to the crisis into robust end-to-end digital business platforms that can respond to a whole range of new customers' preferences that the pandemic has either created or revealed. Again, we are very much looking forward to organizing our physical conferences and having face-to-face meetings with you. In the meantime, we'll continue updating you through our Digital Insight videos. Thank you very much for your feedback so far. See you soon and take care.
Fasten your seatbelts. Disruption is on its way.